Manchester United's 25-26 season schedule dropped this week. And unfortunately for Ruben Amorim and the Bluffeteers at Manchester United, we have the hardest start to the EPL of any team. In the first 5 matches, we got Arsenal at home, Fulham away, Burnley at home, City away, Chelsea at home. No team has it harder, and no team bluffed harder last year. And I feel like when you're bluffing and you're busy making excuses, are we already going to be starting to make excuses? Hey, we can't really play well for these first 5 games. These are really good teams. Well, you know what? Last time I checked, I support Manchester United because we win things. We win the league, sir. How are we feeling about this start for Ruben Amorim and the Reds?
Hey, there's going to be nowhere to hide. At the end of the day, a lot of question marks around the manager, a lot of question marks around his playing style. There's going to be certain dependencies from INEOS to get signings in. Guess what, brother? You're going to be disappointed. I'm just going to go out and put my neck out there to say that you're not going to get all the signings you need in order to fit this perfect model. So it's very, very important that we avoid catastrophe. Ugly draws. This is where my biggest concern is that he's so stubborn. He's so behind this kind of ideology around how he wants to approach the game that sometimes you got to be practical, and sometimes we need to just pack it in and not get embarrassed and, get a clean sheet, get a 0-0, get a 1-1 or whatever. Because the last 2 seasons before this, under Ten Hag, they were really disastrous starts. He kind of turned it around in his first season, obviously, after that famous Brentford runabout. But last season, it started horribly, and it went all the way until his firing, and then it extended into the next manager. So we have to find our feet quickly, and this is where it's important to get players in. And my concern is, we got one name in, and Bomo has kind of dragged. Now we're in a position where, we need, like you said, we need a new goalkeeper. We definitely need a number 9. There's been no movement. I know we brought in 2, hoping to bring in 2 players that can provide goals, but we need an out-and-out target man. So I'm concerned, sir. It's a hard start to the season, and we've already seen 2 horrible starts in a row. We need something different.
Yeah, and look, usually, we love Manchester United. We have season tickets in this at the Stretford end, sir. We always go every year, pick out some fixtures, see some games. Usually it's a European game. This year we went Europa League away, then home against Arsenal, which was a great game. Interesting that Arsenal, I felt like, was one of our better home games last season towards the end. Ends up being our first game to start the season. A great fixture. If this was just any other year where United were obviously just amazing and competing for the league, this would be an unbelievable game with so much on the line. It reminds me of Chelsea at home with Dan James' debut, scoring those goals, wild win for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. That type of big fixture right off the gate for Manchester United. As a fan, it's great. This one a little more cagey. You're looking at losing to Tottenham in the final. Amorim kind of seeing ghosts, fighting Garnacho. And now the team, too much to do for the director of football, who, we just promoted Wilcox, because who needs a director of football a la the Glazer playbook?
We do.
And be like, no, you really needed a director of football, and you really needed him figuring out what we're going to do this summer all year. But it sounds like Sir Jimmy Ratcliffe is the director of football, which could be worse than having the Glazers not pay attention and making Ed Woodward and Richard Arnold the director of football. I just feel like right now, the pressure is building. And unfortunately, the reality is that the pressure is on because of what happened in Bilbao. And we saw that with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, where we saw a lot of good things under Ole, signed a lot of players, and then losing that final, it's like, okay, now it's on to next season. And you have these first 5 matches, which according to Opta is the hardest start of any team. And if you don't start well, then are we writing off 25-26? But we wrote off last year because of Erik Ten Hag. And then Erik Ten Hag played horrible the year before. We can't stack 3 shitty seasons in a row for Manchester United fans. We're just going to be sick and tired of watching bad football. So United need to get players in now. We got to get them in before preseason, which is July 19th is a start. If you want to sign a player, realistically, they got to be in a week before get to the United States. That means you got to close a medical done. You got to be doing the deals now. We are not doing the deals now. And Amorim's going to be stuck fighting one hand behind his back. We've seen this movie before. Sell to buy FC. Always do acquire players, but leave key positions. Like last year, running it back with Onana, not great. You look at right back, got some cover there, but left back was a gaping hole. I would argue we were covered at center back, but midfield, Ugarte getting rid of McTominay, then the loans. They loaned all of our attackers out in January. It's just, where's the director of football? Who's running football operations? All right, you wrote off last year. Now you got to be thinking about what's the strategy here, as a fan. Like, how are we, like, realistically, how can you look at these first 5 games and be like, we're going to just kill it?
I don't think anybody's thinking that. And I think if you look at the bookmakers, the odds have moved in the way where they think we're going to have another calamitous start to the Premier League season. He is the number 1 most likely manager to get fired as soon as these these fixtures drop, because it's so difficult, because it's the most difficult in the league, because we have so much business to do. We're in the sell to buy territory. We have 1 player through the door. He will have a contribution, but at the same time, you're not just looking to fill holes. You have drama. You have players that you're not even going to bring on tour if you cannot sell them, allegedly. And that's not a place you want to be. So we need to rely on our pedigree and start that season well with the Arsenal game, because we have the highest win rate of any team in the Premier League on opening day. One of the reasons is we always almost play at home. I think we've played 14 games or something, the last 14 games at home for our opener. So we need the Old Trafford faithful to get behind us. And I need the manager to be a little less stubborn. I think it's not going to happen. And if that doesn't happen, that'll probably be the end of him at United, even as early as this season. But he needs to be practical and not be like, all right, City, let's go for it. They're spending money like crazy, and they did start in January. We need to be realistic about where we're at, and it's about like picking up scrappy points, like a point against Chelsea, a point against, that's, if you get a defeat, lose by 1, don't lose by 4.
You got to be like, it's the new season. I'm not going to excuse factory the new season.
Already am.
You got to fucking win against Arsenal. You got to win.
You got to win that game.
You have to win Arsenal.
First 3.
You have to beat Arsenal. You have to beat Fulham. You have to beat Burnley. No excuses. And then you can think about Chelsea at home. That's got to be a win. City away, fine. Like, hey, like FFP, where you at?
Not saving us. By the way, it's not saving us, bro.
115 charges. Where are you at?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Like, I mean, like, fine. Like, I get it. Cheaters, like, can't beat them. Fine. I'm already there. Like, but you got to be thinking. You have to be thinking win 4 out of those 5. You have to.
4 out of the
worst
5?
Case scenario.
4 out of the 5? What are you, crazy?
If you come out of there, like, worst case scenario has to be 3-1-1. Like, worst case scenario. If you're Ruben Amorim,
bad time, brother.
38% win rate, lost the final. You got to show up. You got, like, what is this going to be? Like, hey, guys, 12th place.
Give us a decade.
Like,
we'll get it right.
Sir Jim is like, wants to see results. Like, JG Whitworth, I need wins now. Call him. I need cash now. And this is why there's more fixtures in here. But if you look at August, you look at September, we broke down the top 5. That's the hardest there. Manager back against the wall. People are going to be like, fans right now, hey, how could you say that? How could you say that? We back Amorim. Everyone wants to back Amorim. Everyone wants to back the manager who can just coach us forever, and there's no drama, and, like, fans are great, and the manager will never be questioned. Well, guess what? If you're the manager of Manchester United, you play to win the game, and you have to show results. And if INEOS is going to invest another $200 million in this team, and we have a 38% win rate through the end of October, that drum is going to be beaten. That steady drum is going to be beaten, and he will probably go the way of many managers that we've seen before. I don't want to see that. I hope we come out barnstorming and see results. But if we're sell to buy, where have we seen this movie before? Sell to buy, too many players to sell, can't get rid of them, too many positions to add to, or we can't add to them all, limited budget, like leave it late FC. That's just kind of, and the manager basically won't be backed. And United will start again with a lack of players, a manager who's probably disappointed, a la Jose Mourinho when he turned against the owners. Like, I have a bad feeling about where we're headed this summer. Also, Barada softball interview kind of covering for Sir Jim Ratcliffe as well. It's got all the signs. It's just different people, different actors, same story as far as what I'm seeing. As far as the Glazers and INEOS is concerned, I wish I could say differently, but their inability to sell these players so far, like, they have not been able to move players on, and I really don't like that, because they should be selling those cut rate deals now instead of waiting all summer and then selling cut rate at the end.